Okay, hello everyone. I've got a stack of games here. So for this video, it's a bit different to my normal videos. I'm going to talk about gender in gaming. It's a bit of a hot topic at the moment, and I thought I would talk about the issue that I hear quite a lot, that there's not a lot of female protagonists in games, and that there's too many games aimed at men, and there's not enough gamer girls, because a lot of the games out there have male protagonists, and girls can't identify with these games because they can't play as someone their own gender, and so that's why there's not as many girls playing. So I thought what I would do is go through all my current, well, I know it's not current gen, Xbox 360 is last gen, but for me it's current gen. All the games that I'm sort of playing, or I consider current gen to me. So I'm going to leave out all the PS2 and original Xbox and earlier. Anything like that I'm going to leave out, not because I think it would skew my argument, because you can see from my collection if you want. It's just because I don't think they're as relevant to the argument as these games. These are a bit more recent, so what I thought I would do is go through my collection and see which games you only get to play as a man, and which games you don't. So we'll see, and I'll talk a bit about the games. So you can see the first one, Far Cry 3. Yeah, you only get to play as a man in Far Cry 3. I think the main protagonist is a man, so I mean, obviously this is just my collection of games. I've got different tastes in games. I don't usually go for games like Bioshock, and I don't even know. There's quite a lot of games that I don't really go for that are quite popular, so I guess other people's collections will be different, but this is just my personal collection of games. Aliens vs Predator. I got it on sale, as you can see. You can play as Predator and Alien, but I think the Marines and that you can only play as a man. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. So we'll just put that in the man pile. Terrible misogynist man pile. Okay. Virtua Tennis, as you can see. You can play as both genders. I'll put that in the acceptable pile. Alright, we've got the orange box. I bought this just to play Portal 2, really. No, Portal, sorry. And I think the protagonist in Portal is a lady. You only get to see that if you like do 2 portals and get to look through one portal at yourself and you see that you're a woman. So it's not that important to the game. It's just, you know, just saying. Half-Life 2, I think you play as a man. I've not really played that one much. And Team Fortress 2, I don't know, I've never played it. So put that over there, because you can play as a woman in Portal 2. Beautiful Katamari. You play as cousins, which are kind of genderless creatures from outer space, I think they're meant to be. It's a pretty genderless game, that, so I'll put that in the pile over there. Saints Row the Third. You pick the gender, you custom create your character when you begin, and you can have either gender, so put that over there. WWE 13. Now, you can play as women in this game, but I've got to admit, I don't really like the way that, I don't know if it's something, I don't really watch WWE, so I don't know if it's something about the culture that I don't understand, but I do find these games a bit sexist. Like, you can't really, I remember some games in the series you could only play as women if you played in like titillating matches where you had to like strip off each other's clothes, and you can't really have fights with the women where you can like make them bleed and stuff like that. So I'm gonna put that, because it is quite a male orientated game. I don't really, you know, I'm not really got a big issue with it. I'm just saying it has got women in it, but they're not really like proper characters. They're kind of like, I don't know what the word is. they're divas, they're not real wrestlers. So Fallout 3, you get to pick the gender of your character on startup. My character in this is a lady. Very nice lady who goes around shooting people in the heads because she's a deadeye. Grand Theft Auto 4. Yeah, she plays Nicole Bellic. Okay, we'll put that in the terrible pile. Tomb Raider, obviously, you play as a strong, independent woman. Grand Theft Auto 5. Yep, you play as men in that. Most people don't know that. Saints Row. I can't even remember this game really. I think it might be the same as the third one, which I played a bit more of. And I think you can create a man or a woman. I could be wrong, but I'm going to put it in that pile anyway. Dead Rising. You play as this guy. Splatterhouse. You play as a man in that. Marvel vs. Capcom, obviously you get multiple characters. And they're all male and female. Mega Drive Ultimate Collection, I don't know. It's either. It's just a collection of Mega Drive games. I suppose there's anything in there. You play as aeroplanes and hedgehogs and things. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Yeah, it's quite an old one. I think you could only play as a man in that. I think the newer ones you can pick the gender. I could be wrong. Mortal Kombat, another game where you can pick multiple characters, male and female. Oh, we'll go on to the Wii U games. Smash Brothers, fighting game. You get to play as a electric mouse and a princess and a big monkey thing. Zombie U. Your character spawns as a random gender, race, and looks, everything about your character when you start. You don't really get to pick, but you're a man or a woman, and when you die you spawn as a different person. Mario Kart 8, again, you pick pretty much anyone, different genders, different species. Nintendo Land, yeah, again, lots of mini games, not really a gender focused game that. So yeah, the pile's looking a bit stacked in one way or the other. And I didn't cherry pick my games here. This is just all my current games that I've got. DS games, Pokemon X. You pick your character at the beginning. It can be a boy or a girl. Aliens Infestation. You pay, basically with the game you have a squad of Marines and you pick which ones you want to play with as you go through the game. As they die, you play as one of the others, and they're different gendered. So you know you can play as a man or a woman in that game. Resident Evil 3D, The Mercenaries. Yep, you get to pick different characters to play through the game as, different genders. And WarioWare Touch. This is another mini game which is you know, it's you just basically play as a stylus. You don't play as a particular character. Okay, so there's all my disc games here, and I gotta say, the games where you can play as either gender or a non-gender or something like that is a lot higher. And I mean, if we're trying to argue that there's just a load of games that are only for boys and you can only play as men in these games, then why don't girls just go out and get a collection of games like this? I mean, I know the argument's a load of bollocks because I know tons of girls that play games, and you know, the idea is rubbish, but it's an argument I hear a lot, and I just wanted to point out you can have a go through your own game collection, see how many of the games are gender neutral, gender biased, or whatever, if you're really interested in this kind of thing. If you want to use the argument that there's too many games with male protagonists, it's probably just because you're looking at the games with male protagonists. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a game where you can only play as a man. It's just the argument that there's only those kind of games and there's nothing else for people to play. It's really not true. I just proved it